Marshall PC Wabash again. Today, I'm in the kitchen. Went out to the garden, picked some greens this morning. Some jalapeno peppers, not too many of those. Maybe a serving as a couple meals of green beans. But I got a pot of kale, turnip greens, kale, you know, just standard greens going on. I said, what can I do with them instead of eating them right away? So I went to the Ball handbook here, and you can freeze them, or you can can them. So today, I'm going to try canning greens for the very first time. They've been in the pot according to the directions. Put greens in a saucepan with just enough water to prevent sticking. Cook the greens till they're wilted. We're at that point now. Stir evenly. I did it. Cut through the greens several times. I did that. Got additional water back here on simmer. Got my jars over here. I run hot water in them so they're warm. Wash the lids off so they're good to go. So next step, it says start putting them in hot greens in the hot jars. Leave 1 inch headspace. Got my measuring spoon over here. Half a tablespoon of Himalayan pink salt. Himalayan pink salt is what I'm using for my salt. Then we remove the air bubbles and clean the jars. So we're getting ready. The Ball book says I am a rookie at this stuff. Only been canning for 3 years, ever since the COVID stuff hit. Watch. Let's see. Homestead Heart. She just cracks me up. Homestead Heart. And Living Traditions Homestead quite a bit initially to learn how to. It's old fashioned, ain't nothing high tech about it, but it was my mother-in-law's canner before she passed away. So my father-in-law gave it to me. I bought a new gasket for it, a new pop-off valve. It's a Miro-matic. Had to buy a new weight because we couldn't find a weight, so I got to wait for it. So now we're going to start packing hot greens in hot jars. As soon as I find something to pick this hot pan up with. There we go. I drained that, so I'm going to take it right over to the sink. There's them greens. Yum yum. Now I'm going to pour out the hot liquid I had warming these jars up. Get salt in each one like it calls for. Half a teaspoon for pint jars. I like the wide mouth ones. I don't have to be deep on it for dripping. There we go, first one going in. One thing about it, can't say it ain't hot. Cook greens, fill, pack hot greens in hot jars. Alright, so we're going to pack. So at this rate, it looks like that's all we're going to get is 4, but that's okay. This is experimental anyway. Maybe I'll squeeze a couple more out of there, but we are going to. And now this, what I got from the M.I. Gardener. I watch a little bit of everybody. I was trying to learn something. M.I. Gardener showed a method of cutting greens and lettuce called Cut and Come Again. And I said, okay. I didn't know I knew you could do it with lettuce, but I didn't know you could do it with greens. And sure enough. So what I did was do the same process I did for the lettuce. Find the centermost leaf on the plant, which is usually the shortest one, closest to the base. Hit my arm on the camera. Shortest to the base of the plant. There's always a little, most of the time, unless it's gone to seed, a little leaf there. That is actually the new growth on that plant. So if you cut everything around the outside of that leaf is where all these greens came from the first time. But there you go. And you cut all the leaves around, but leave the center little plant, or the little leaf that's in the center alone. It'll grow again. And this time it popped out some fantastic. I even had a turnip show its face last week. I was out there picking the first, or whenever I did it the first time. I looked down at a beautiful turnip. I picked it, peeled it, threw it in with the first batch of greens. Just cooked it up with the rest of it. Got a little bit more. We can turn that bad boy down. The can is bowling behind me. Now, it's pressure canned, and we'll get to that in a second. When I strained it out, we'll put that over in this one. Alright. Now we're going to pack these jars. Water into these jars. Then we're going to stick the tool down in here and get all the air bubbles out. Alright, so no, stick it down in there, kind of rock it around, and it works the water down into the stuff you're canning. But the main thing it does is get them air bubbles up out of there. We don't want no air bubbles in our canning. And this is leafy greens, and they just got packed in, so we are gonna give this a pretty good working over. Now it said leave an inch of headspace. On this little tool, it has steps: 1/4 inch, 1/2, 3, and 1 inch. And usually the 1 inch, let me show you 1 inch. Yeah, it's pretty hot, but 1 inch usually corresponds with the very bottom of the band. So if you look, it's 1 inch. It's slightly below here, but it's close. So we're going to ladle some more. I'm going to come over here. This one needs just a teeny bit more water. That'll take me up to 1 inch headspace. Perfect. That's good. That one's good. That one's good. Alright, now take your towel and dry off the lip of your jar, because you want an absolutely clean surface when you put the lid on. Clean lid. I washed it, put it on the jar. Make sure it's centered up good. They pre-washed. I washed them. Packed my jars up away from last year, cleaned them up, washed them, filled them with hot liquid. Then you take your back, kind of finger tight. You ain't got to wrench down on it. We'll channel lock or anything. You just get it centered on it, get that, make sure that lid's on there, finger tight, make sure you got a good seal. Now, we are done packing jars. Now we're going to lower the hot jars into the hot canner. There's that canner. And take these, which are your lifters. They got a little rubber around here so your jar don't slip. Go around here and put them in. Alright. Alright, I got my green cannon in the background, as you can hear. I picked these little bit of beans. These are contender bush beans. I might have a couple pints here, so I'm going to snap them up, stem them, snap them up, see how much I got, and who knows. If I got enough time today, which may be not likely, I have to go to my part-time job at the ballpark, watch some baseball, and help some people find their seats. Alright, this is Marshall TC, I'm back. As promised, our load of greens are done that we did this morning. We got no air coming out. Turn this, unlock the lid, flip it over so I don't get water everywhere. Oh, it smells like green. Hopefully that's good thing. Reach in there because everything in here is hot. And there we go. Greens. Cane. A second pint, just big enough for me. We're going to do some green beans. Already got hot water going next to me, but my can looks like it needs a little topping off. I get my big one out there, put some water in it. I already got jars over here warming up. Lids washed. Started with 3. I may have to do more. I don't know. Now, my canner says add 2 inches of water, but that water's hot. So my stick says I got 1.5 inches of water. See what it says now. Alright. This kit comes with a measuring stick, and as you can see, it puts me right at the 2-inch mark. Ingredients for everything. Now, it says 4.5 to 7 pounds of beans should give you 6 pints, and that's what I was pinting. But I don't think I got that many beans. Wash the beans, we did it. We did that, we snapped them and got them into nice size. So they're pretty for beans. But anyways, they're all snapped, ready to rock and roll. But this time, we're going to raw pack. We're not cooking. See, the greens I cooked, hot packed. We're raw packing these. So it says bring water to boil, reduce heat, and I've already done that. Fill, raw pack raw beans tightly as possible without crushing into a hot jar. Well, we're warming our jar up now with hot water. Leave 1 inch headspace, we went over that. Half a teaspoon of salt for a pint jar. Leave 1 inch headspace. Except instead of 1 hour and 10 minutes, we let the thing vent, put the weight on it, bring it to pressure, And then it's only a 20-minute job for string beans. Cool them off like we did. Let the canner come back down to cool. There's my water in the black pan. And my canner right there. Bring the water back. Let that cool off. And then line them up here. So I've got water ready to go. Plants, and they're coming along as you've seen. And I said pack them down, so get them a shimmy shake like Rachel Ray. Alright, packed in there pretty good. Let's get this other one up here. Without crushing. We're compressing, but we ain't crushing. That's interesting. I might actually have a bonus jar. Let me go grab another jar. That jar is heating up. I'm going to get my ladle bag out and get my water put in here. Got my salt. I need to get these water in here before it got too cool. So we're going to do half a teaspoon of salt. That way we can wash it down through here. While we ladle the water in, it can wash the salt down. Tools, what to do it? I just had it right here. Get down in there, wiggle it around, push down on the sides, get air bubble out. You might have to adjust your water again. So we just shove it down. Should be able to see that. That ain't much light. But get, get your air bubbles out. Pack it back in there without burning your fingers. That one's good. That one needs a little bit. So we're going to give it a little drink. That one should be good now. And that's good. Alright, so same process as the first time. Wipe our rims off. We get a good seal. And then we put the lids on with the little rubber gasket down, of course. So all it fits on there. Everybody else uses a string, but I got this big old nice piece of leather, so why throw it away? I tie my cans on it, hanging up in my closet for winter storage. Tie my cans on it, hanging in the closet for winter storage. That way I can wash stuff and just it's ready to go. Now we do the same thing. Little finger tight, then you got to wrench down on it. Now, then we take these hot jar, put it back in the canner. 2 inches of water, as y'all saw. You can it, and you know, 4 jars might not be much, and 4 jars might not be much, but kind of like I made a comment, it's kind of like collecting pennies. If I pick up 1 or 2 pennies, yeah, that ain't much. But if I eventually wind up picking up 50 pennies, hey, that's pretty good. If I can 4 jars or something, and can 4 jars of something else, hey, I did 8 jars today. I didn't pick that much, but I got 8 jars preserved up. It added up, did it not? Only thing it did is time, but right there's the open and close the label. Then we start this whole process over again. We wait till it starts venting. Where is that? There we go. Sealed up that time. Twist and lock it. And now we're just waiting on it to catch up and start venting. Then I'll turn this from way up where it's at to medium, vent it for 10 minutes, and call it a wrap for canning today. Alright, well, this is Marshall P.C. Wabash with a successful day in the garden, working on 8 pints, 4 string beans, and 4 collard greens. And this is, check y'all later.